Iran News Now. Iranian presidential election polls close. In a runoff presidential election, Iranians choose between a low-key moderate and a hardliner close to the supreme leader amid public dissatisfaction, regional tensions, and Western pressure. Voting ended at midnight local time in Iran, 6:30 a.m. Saturday AEST, following 3 extensions of 6 hours. Based on initial assessments, the Interior Ministry estimated a 50% attendance, higher than the first round. Interior Ministry plans to announce the final result early Saturday. After Ebrahim Raisi's helicopter disaster, over 60% of Iranian voters skipped the quick election for his replacement on June 28. The vote is close between low-key politician Masoud Pezeshkian, the only moderate in the original field of 4 candidates, and hardline former nuclear negotiator Saeed Jalali, who wants closer connections with Russia and China. The election is unlikely to change Iran's policy, but the president will play a major role in choosing the successor to Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Iran's 85-year-old supreme leader who controls all state matters. I've heard folks are more enthusiastic than in the first round. May God grant this, as it will be good news, Khamenei told state TV after voting. On Wednesday, Khamenei recognized a lower-than-expected turnout last week, but added it is erroneous to believe those who abstained in the first round are opposed to Islamic governance. The election coincides with rising Middle East tensions due to the war between Israel and Iranian allies Hamas in Gaza and Hezbollah in Lebanon and Western pressure on Iran over its rapid nuclear enrichment program. Iran's Interior Ministry reports over 30 million voters in the runoff presidential election, up from almost 40% in the first round on June 28. Some constituencies, including Tehran, permitted voters outside polling places to enter and wait for their votes after midnight. As in recent elections, many people attend polling places in the late afternoon and evening to avoid the heat. The Interior Ministry added 2 hours to the 3-stage voting after 1800 hours local time. High turnout in the late hours of the polls normally favors the reformist Islamic Republic candidate, Masoud Pezeshkian, against hardliner Saeed Jalali. Iran has no exit polls. The results should be out by morning. The 2 candidates have alleged various abnormalities, but no substantial vote manipulation. Supreme Leader hopes for high turnout. Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei voted shortly after the voting opened. I heard people are more enthusiastic and interested. Hope this is real. If so, it will be uplifting, said the 85-year-old Iranian leader, who has always stated a high turnout proves the Islamist government's legitimacy. In a speech Wednesday, Khamenei recognized that the first-round turnout was less than expected but blamed lack of time rather than discontent with the leadership and refusal to vote. Turnout. By midnight, the Interior Ministry reported over 30 million votes cast. Eyewitness accounts of empty polling stations throughout the day will cast doubt on any official tally. Around 50% in the coming days. In the first round, just under 40% of Iran's 61.5 million eligible voters voted for Pezeshkian, 42.4%, and Jalali, 38.6%. 4.3% of ballots were blank, void, or for the 2 other candidates. Iranians from Tehran and other cities have given Iran International TV dozens of videos and images of vacant polling places. Many political groups, activists, and ordinary Iranians, both inside and outside Iran, urged voters to boycott the elections, which they called unfair and engineered to prevent Khamenei from usurping their participation and using it to legitimize his rule. Dissidents protest outside polling stations in major cities worldwide. Dissidents protested outside Iranian embassies and polling locations in London, Stockholm, Sydney, and Bonn, as in the first round. Protesters and voters clashed in various spots. Supporters of Pezeshkian say government is dissuading voters with texts. The Interior Ministry texted all Iranians a few hours before the election closed last Friday, quoting Khamenei as declaring every vote was a vote for the ruling establishment. All people received this and other ministry SMS notifications in the afternoon of the runoff polls. Some, including former Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif, who tirelessly campaigned for Pezeshkian, saw the text message as a deterrent to those who worry their votes will be used to legitimize the Islamic Republic. Zarif referenced such messages in a short social media video aired Friday afternoon and asked voters not to be discouraged by them. Political figures voting/abstention. The Reformists' leader, former President Mohammad Khatami, abstained from voting in the March legislative elections but voted in the first round. He voted again in the runoff but declined to talk to state television. Mir Hossein Mousavi and Zahra Rahnavard, the Green Movement's leader and wife under house arrest since 2011, denied a ballot box to vote at home. Mehdi Karoubi, a Green Movement leader under house arrest since 2011, voted at home and urged Iranians to vote for Pezeshkian. Social media photos of former President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, who became an opposition figure after being forbidden from running in 2017, showed him overseas and not voting. After his account announced Friday that he was not backing either candidate, photographs of him at a mosque in Istanbul, Turkey, surfaced on social media. Most imprisoned dissidents, including reformist Mostafa Tajada and Nobel Peace Laureate Narges Mohammadi, refused to vote in prison, as in the first round. Like the first round, famous political inmates in various prisons declined to vote.